8 is an equation with rational expressions or fractions. And we do those by clearing out the fractions. So we want to pick the common denominator. So for 4 and 3, the smallest number that they will both go into is 12. We're going to use the 12 and multiply on top every single term. Now, you're using that so that your denominator will divide out. So you don't want to jump and multiply the numerators. You're going to divide the denominators out before you actually multiply. So 4 will go into 4 one time, 4 into 12 will go 3 times. The 3 is what you will distribute. So we have 3 times 64 gives us 192. 3 times negative 5x will give us negative 15x. Bring your equals down. And then we can clean up the next term. So we can divide by 4. 4 will go into 4 once. And into 12 it will go 3 times. 3 times 7x will give us 21x. For the next one, divide your 3. 3 will go into 3 once. And 3 will go into 12 4 times. That is going to distribute. You have to be a little cautious here. It's really going to be a minus 4 that distributes to your parentheses. So minus 4 times 2x will give a minus 8x. Minus 4 times 1 will give us minus 4. So that minus is going to apply to your entire numerator there. Now we will clean up. On the right hand side we have some like terms that can go together. So I'll just keep this side. And 21 minus 8 will give us 13x minus 4. Now you have a variable on both sides. You need to get rid of one of those. So you can either choose to get rid of the 15x or the 13x. If we choose to get rid of the 15x, we would add it. And then we will clean up. So it leaves us 192 on the left equals 28x minus 4. Now you have a set order. On the side with your variable, we're going to take off the 4. So we need to add. And we'll clean up. This will give us 196 equals 28x. And divide by 28 on both sides. Leaves us x on the right hand side, and on the left this will divide evenly. If you put it in your calculator, we'll go 7 times. Problem 9 is also an equation with rational expressions. We have to be a little more careful on this one because we have variables in the denominators. So we have to state our excluded values, which is anything that would make that denominator 0. So for our first one, a negative 2 in for x would make that 0. So we have to throw those away. X cannot be negative 2. For the next denominator, a positive 4 there. X cannot be 4. And if you don't see those, you can set it equal to 0 and solve. And then so it is x equals negative 2. But remember, that's what you're throwing away. Right. And for our last one, we have to factor that denominator to see what is in there. And so it will be x's, different signs. And 4 and 2 should work. Minus 4x plus 2x, that works. And it is actually made out of the exact same factors we've already used. So we've already thrown away everything we need. The next step is to find the common denominator. And you need to cover all these types of factors. So we will use this biggest one. Both of the others are included in it. So our LCD is x plus 2, x minus 4. And we're going to multiply on top by this. So we're going to multiply every single term by the x plus 2, x minus 4. And it will make all the denominators cancel. Right, and now we'll clean up for our first one. The x plus 2 will cancel. So we have left 5 times x minus 4. Keep parentheses on there. Right, our next one, the x minus 4 will cancel. So we have plus 2 times x plus 2 equals, and for this third term, our entire denominator will cancel because it factored into those pieces. So we just have 30 for that one. And now we just have a standard linear equation. We're going to multiply through. So 5x minus 20 for our second set of parentheses, 2x plus 4 equals 30. Put your like terms together on the left-hand side. 5x plus 2x is 7x. Minus 20 plus 4 will be a minus 16 equals 30. And now solve for x. We just have a linear equation here. So add your 16 to both sides. Gives us 7x equals 46. Divide by 7. And it does not divide evenly, and it does not reduce. So we just leave it there. We have to look back and make sure we did not throw this value away. We did not. We threw away negative 2 and 4. So we're fine. This is our solution set, 46 over 7. Our next problem is the same type. It is an equation and it has rational expressions. We do have variables in the denominators, so we have to check and see what are our excluded values. So what can x not be? The easy one there is just the plain x. If we put a 0 in that x, then that would give us a 0 in the denominator. So we're going to throw that away. For the other group, we will need to solve. So 2x minus 1, just set it equal to 0. Add your 1 to both sides. And divide by 2. So 1/2 is a bad value. If we plugged it in, we would get a 0 in the denominator. So we're going to throw it away. Now we take our LCD. For our common denominator, we have to cover all the types of pieces. And we have a 2x minus 1, and we have an x. Those are different, so we will need both of those for our common denominator. And we multiply all the way through by both. Then we clean up. The 2x minus 1 will cancel, so it will leave us x times 2x to give us 2x squared. For our next term, our x will cancel. So we're left with 2x minus 1 times 1, or just 2x minus 1. On the other side, the 2x minus 1 will cancel. We're left with 1 times x, or x. So we have a quadratic equation here. We need to get rid of one of these x terms, and we would like to have 0. So we will subtract this x from both sides. And that gives us 2x squared plus x minus 1 equals 0. Now we are in standard form. We can try to factor if it seems fairly easy to factor. Will be two binomials, different signs. Our only choice here is 2 times 1 with the x's, and the only choice at the end is 1 times 1. So let's see if this works. Minus 2x plus 1x. I need to switch my signs because this is going to give me back a minus x instead of a plus. So I'm just going to switch off my signs. The one that I had as plus will be the minus, and the one that I had as minus will be plus. So 2x minus 1x gives me 1x. Right. Now I can use the zero product law. So set each piece equal to 0 and solve. For the first one, I will add the 1 to both sides and divide by 2. This has given you one of those excluded values, so we're going to not use this one. Let's see if the other one works. So we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. Right? -1 is okay. So the half is extraneous. We can't use it because it makes the denominator 0. Our solution is -1.